I know a lot of you guys know my story, but I know that there's also a lot of people who don't know my story. So I wanted to share a little bit about my history so people can really understand where I'm coming from. And when I say you can do it, I really mean it. This is actually my very first transformation photo, and you might look at that picture on the left and say, well, you looked fine, you didn't need to lose a bunch of weight, but you really couldn't see what was happening on the inside, and that's what matters. When I would binge eat, after it would happen, I would write in my journal how I felt at that very moment. And there were words that I can't even describe, to the pits of hell, how I felt about myself. And I don't wish that upon anyone. That was a dark, dark, dark place. And I would sit there in a ball and write this down. I'd say, this is never gonna happen again. I'm not gonna do this again. I can't let it happen again. But I was to a point where I wanted to not go on with life. Like, I was ready for life to be over. I felt like I had nothing to live for because I didn't know what I was living for. And so as I laid there on the floor and I thought, you know, who's gonna miss me? They might miss me. And I actually contemplated, like, who would go to my funeral? And I actually started thinking about the ways, how could I make my life end and what would be the best way to do it. And it was such a selfish feeling. I was so hopeless. And I just remember just thinking, you know, what's the easiest way to do it? And all of a sudden, I was like, I felt this presence, and I'll never be able to quite bring that to life because I don't know, you know, I can't, there's no way to express how I felt. I just felt this huge weight just came off of my shoulders. It was like, you know, a breath of fresh air all of a sudden. A feeling that I didn't feel for years. And it was like somebody came up to me, lifted me up and said, this is not your time and you have something great to live for. But I remember getting up and looking right into the mirror and smiling, and it was like, this is my second chance. This is my second chance at life. Something that I am supposed to be here for, and I am going to make sure that it happens. From that day on, I started working on me. I started focusing on what I could do to be the best me. Then I met Jason, and he has been probably the best thing that ever happened to me. And he represents what I want to be. I want to strive to be the most kind person, the most caring person. There are still days where I think, how the heck does he put up with me? Because I have bad days. I still have bad days. I realized that those things shaped me into a better person. If I didn't have those struggles, I wouldn't be able to sit here and motivate other people and tell them, like, when I tell you that you can do it, I mean it. Because if I could get through what I did and overcome that and be able to go through the battles that I did, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, everything. If I was able to do it, anybody can. And that's so cliche, it's so, you know, I don't even want to say it because it sounds corny, but it is the truth. I do it because I want you to feel better. I want you to be in a place where you feel like you have control over your life again. I am so, so thankful for that night, because even though it was the deepest, deepest, darkest pit that I could be in, that I will never want to experience again, I learned so much from that time. That from that moment on, I've done nothing but go up. You know, I've said this before, life doesn't go like this all the time. It's peaks and valleys. So you're gonna go up and then you might have a low. And then you're gonna go up again, you might have a low. But guess what? This new low isn't as low as that first low. So embrace those lows. Learn something from those lows and know, hey, guess what? Look how far I've come, and this valley's got nothing on that valley. I just want people to know where I'm coming from whenever I'm talking to you. This is just my outlet to reach more people, and I want other people to feel the way that I feel. So I had gotten in the best shape physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. I was doing at-home workouts and coaching other people along the way. And I was doing anything from doing my size workouts to anything that was going to help me get in shape by our wedding day. I felt absolutely incredible on our wedding day, and it was the best I'd ever felt. And as soon as we got back from our honeymoon, we actually had some really stressful stuff go on with Jason's job and just some stuff that really kind of knocked us off track for a little bit. I had gained some weight, but then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I'm going to kill it.
Extreme journey. Jason and I were talking, and I said, you know, I just need something to really challenge me. I haven't felt my best. I'm probably I would say 8 pounds heavier, 8 to 10 pounds. I don't weigh myself, but I'm going to during this challenge just to see where I start. But I would say I'm a size or two bigger than what I was at my wedding. One days, these rolls down here, they're gonna be gone.
Little did I know, now looking back, I see all the signs, I was actually pregnant at this point in time.
I was feeling really under the weather yesterday. Still not feeling my best today. Easy. I'm very out of breath. Definitely sweating.
And that whole out of breath thing was my first sign that I thought maybe I'm pregnant.
My energy levels were just really down.
So shortly after that, all the morning sickness came on, and I had a really, really tough pregnancy. For the first 18 to 20 weeks, I was pretty miserable. And unfortunately, whenever you're miserable and sick and nauseated, you don't eat the best and you definitely don't feel like working out. But I did what I could when I could.
So we are having a boy.
B-O-Y.
So we are having a boy, and I think 95% of everybody was saying girl.
And even though the scale kept going up at the doctor's office, I kept shaking my booty and doing my workouts as much as I could. And I was so thankful for my Beachbody On Demand because I just did whatever workout I felt like doing that day, even this crazy Brazil butt lift workout. And on the days I really didn't feel like it, I would tell Jason he had to hold me accountable. But I also had this awesome community that kept me accountable all the time. And even on the days I didn't want to, I just did it. And it was so much easier just going downstairs, going in the living room, and just pushing play on whatever I felt like doing that day. But even with staying on track with my workouts and staying on track with my nutrition, I was still somehow gaining weight, and it was so frustrating.
Each appointment, they take your weight, trying to work out at least 5 times a week. And so I went today, and I've gained another 5 pounds. And it was super defeating when I saw that, because I was like, you know what, this really ticks me off because I have done everything, everything and more that I could. There's nothing else I could have done any differently. For pregnancy, I didn't weigh myself. I hadn't weighed myself in probably a year just because I used to be obsessed with the scale. I feel good and I feel better about myself when I do work out and when I do eat well. So that's what I measure, and that's what makes me feel good, and that's what I measured before pregnancy. My hips are a little bit more sore now that I'm growing some more. I've got the belly here. I've gained 32 pounds, guys. I'm only almost 25 weeks. And that's what you're supposed to gain over the whole pregnancy. I feel like my body is doing what it has to do to protect the baby, take care of the baby, nourish the baby, and it's gonna do whatever it wants regardless of what I want it to do.
So despite my frustrations, I kept at it. I had faith that if I just kept going and just kept pushing play and working out and pushing myself, that not only would I have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby, but I'd have a faster recovery time, maybe an easier labor, hopefully, and hopefully I would have some muscle memory and I'd bounce right back. And surprisingly, the crazy higher impact workouts were actually a lot easier on my body for some reason. I'm convinced it's just because Shaun T's pretty dang awesome.
We are officially 36 weeks.
And at 37 weeks, I was still sizing it up, even dragging Jason to do it with me.
Pregnant sweaty mess. But it was fun, and I feel a lot better now.
Theater got a great workout.
And through all of this, I was still eating well and filling my body with nutrition and making sure I was doing my workouts.
Continue to size it up.
And this was just the day before I went into labor. This was the last picture I took before labor, and when they weighed me in at the hospital, I was shocked to know that I was 217 pounds. That's over 75 pounds of weight gain. But I had a very smooth labor and a very quick delivery and a healthy baby boy. Because of all the fluids that I had, I actually weighed more when I came home from the hospital than when I arrived. And after 5 weeks of adjusting to the new mom life, I decided to take those before pictures and start working on my journey. I remember looking at these pictures and really feeling like that I was looking at somebody else. I just didn't understand how my body had morphed into something that was so unrecognizable to me. But I truly had faith and belief that I had the best support community in the world and the best tools to get back to where I wanted to be. But it was not easy, and there were a lot of bumps along the way. This was my very first workout postpartum, and I just remember feeling extremely discouraged with my body and not feeling like it would move the way that I wanted it to, and just really not feeling like myself at all. And I was really hard on myself and not giving myself much grace for a while after Theo was born.
Down, walk it around to the center. Hold it right here. And bend those knees, lay down. And stretch.
But I kept going, and I just knew if I just didn't quit that I would eventually get to where I wanted to be. And I'm not talking about getting into the best shape that I was ever in my life. I'm talking about just mentally feeling happy about myself again and being able to look in the mirror and see me again. And there were days where we literally had to hold Theo during the workouts because he was so colicky and wouldn't sleep, and we just had to find a way to get our workouts in. And after just 1 week of country heat, I had already lost 8 inches and 7.5 pounds, and I just kept going from there. And even though I was feeling really proud of myself about my progress, I still hit that bump in the road that we all hit where I was having those self-defeating thoughts. Yeah, so today was a rough day. Looking in the mirror and picking myself apart, it was a bad day. And I measured myself, and even though I lost inches and lost more weight, for whatever reason, I was just basically just negative self-talking myself in the mirror, and I hadn't done that in a while. The comparison game again, you know, and I think that a lot of people do that, especially during pregnancy, especially postpartum. I was scrolling through Facebook today, saw a couple people who looked like they didn't even have a baby, and they are 2 weeks postpartum, and it just kind of was like, and I fell into that so unfair feeling. And I was sitting on the bed actually, and I looked at Jason, and I'm like, it's just so weird. Like when I feel places on my body, like I still feel like it's not my body sometimes. And even though I've lost quite a bit of weight and I'm losing inches, I continue to, and I think too, I still like kind of feel like that pregnant person because my bones and joints and everything is just so sore and stiff. Not to mention, I'm not getting hardly any sleep, which is normal with a newborn. And even when he's sleeping, I want to get stuff done. So anyway, I fell into the comparison game today, and I was just like, why is it so easy for so-and-so? And during the workout, I was like facing the mirror. I was facing the mirror over here, and I was punching the mirror, punching out like that negative self-talk. And I was just like, I don't want to be that person. That person is not serving me. So I had to do something about it. And it was funny, at the end of the workout, I was just like, so much better. And I logged on to Facebook after my workout, and somebody posted, you don't even look like you had a baby, and I just started crying. Sometimes it takes other people seeing something that you don't see. It took me going back and looking at pictures right after pregnancy, right after labor, to remind myself how far I've come. So that's why those pictures are so dang important, you know, going back and not dwelling on them, but going back and saying, I have gone pretty far. Because we get stuck in a comparison game of I'm not good enough and instant gratification, and this is going to happen more than once on my journey. This is the first time I've hit this little snag in the road of my postpartum journey, when you see other people moving a little bit faster. But like I said, you can't compare yourself to other people. It's going to steal your joy. It's going to steal your excitement about what you're doing, and you're going to get so focused on them that you're not going to be working on yourselves, and you're going to end up sabotaging yourself. And I am known for sabotaging myself. I am a past binge eater, and usually when I would get these feelings in the past, I would quickly fix it by telling Jason, I'm going to run to the grocery store. And really that meant I'm going to go get 12 cookies and probably eat 6 of them in the car, and then lick the icing off the other 6 and throw them out the window or in the trash can before you get home, so you don't have any evidence of me doing this. And I had to give myself grace today or tonight and say, I didn't do that. Instead, I did something positive for myself. I turned that negative self-talk into something positive, came downstairs, got a good sweat in,
drinking my post-workout shake. You cannot compare your journey to someone else's, and you have to practice patience, and don't self-sabotage yourself. No matter how many times you've failed in the past, it's not an indicator of what you're going to do now. I've never had to go this far. I've never had to work this hard or lose this much weight before. And so this is a journey I haven't been on before. And I even try to compare myself to that past journey, and I can't. I can't continue to compare myself to that because I'm a different person. I'm in a different circumstance. I'm older. Things are just different, and you have to remember that. You have to not compare yourself to others and not compare yourself to yourself. But I'm so proud of myself for pushing play tonight instead of going and sabotaging everything that I've worked hard for. All that's going to do is turn into guilt and shame, and then that's going to turn into another day of guilt and shame and another day, and that I don't want to repeat that cycle, and I don't want to go back there. It's nice for me to, and I don't know how to say this, but I'm actually glad that I'm on this journey of needing to lose more than I ever have in the past, because a lot of the clients that I work with have a lot of weight to lose, and I've never been able to relate to that, and now I can, because it's tough whenever you see you have to look so much further. You have to have a long-term goal and then all these little tiny short-term goals, when those who just want to lose 5 to 10 pounds, sometimes it's just 21 days or 30 days, and it seems more attainable. And now it's like, okay, I just have to, month by month, I just have to plug away at this. I have to chip away at this old me and step into the new me. That's my goal, is fit and healthy and just happy about myself. And I am happy with myself. I feel so much stronger now that I had a baby. I feel like I could do anything. Even when I'm doing my workouts, it's like, it's not the same body. I feel like I'm still in someone else's body sometimes, but each day it's getting better and better. I'm not back to myself yet, but I do feel more normal each day, and I feel less jiggling, so that's a plus. And I'm trying so hard, and this is important to you guys, to focus on the non-scale victories, focus on the little things that you notice. I had a bra on, and it didn't feel like it was like cutting off my circulation anymore, and I didn't have to use a bra extender. I wanted to thank you guys for your kind comments on my posts, because you don't know how much that means to somebody. That was kind of one of the reasons that I became a coach, and why I think that so many people should become coaches, because it forces you to put yourself out there on social media, and it forces you to deal with your crap. But then you have all these supporters of people from all over who you don't even know. When, if I didn't have that, if I wasn't a coach, I would be dealing with this stuff on my own. I can't tell you how much working out is my therapy. If you are not a workout person, find a workout that you like doing, or something. If you like dancing, find a dance workout to do, because it really can be your therapy and can help you get through stuff. For me, like today, if I would have skipped my workout, it'd be like skipping therapy, and that's not good. It's not good for your mind. Thought to myself, would I go up to my best friend and pinch her sides and pinch her whatever, the skin, and say, man, you've got all that fat and all that skin there? No. So why would I do that to myself? Why am I subjecting myself to that kind of behavior? It's just not right throughout his life. And I don't want him to ever feel like that's normal, or how a girl should talk to themselves. And I want him to just look at his mommy as like this strong mommy. But now it's like my why and my purpose is a lot deeper than just, oh, I've got weight that I need to lose and I want to feel good about myself. It's like, I want to be a better person for him. And to be a better person, that means I have to be the best person for myself, and the best person to myself, and be kind to myself, and speak to myself, and give myself grace, and give myself patience.
So I've had a few bumps in the road along my journey, but I always picked myself up and kept going, even when I didn't feel like it. Even when stuff was jiggling around and I didn't feel my best, I still posted my workouts, I still posted videos, because I wanted people to see what was real.
I'm only halfway through the workout. Look at me.
Bring your knee to your chest. Put it together.
Killer.
Feet left.
Even when I was staying with my parents in my tiny bedroom from high school, I still got the workouts in, and I still did it without excuses. And I still struggled. I still had to modify, but I just kept going. And a lot of the days, I couldn't even do the moves. I just did this. But each day, I saw a little bit more of me coming back when I looked in the mirror, and my smile was coming back. And yes, I still had poopy days, literally. Theo pooped on the floor, and I still made a point to make sure that I was working on me. It wasn't always easy. Thank God for Snapchat filters, but I always made a way to make it work because my why was so much bigger now with Theo. I wanted to be a strong mom, I wanted him to see me happy, and I wanted to give my best to him and Jason.
Doing my workouts, I like to just wear my sports bra and my tight compression pants so I can feel everything changing. So in this workout clip, you are going to see me shirtless, things moving around, but that's real. I'm a real woman. This is real life. Regardless if you had a baby, if you put on more weight than you hoped to or planned to, and now you're working towards a new and better you, you're going to have that. You're going to have that. You're going to notice it changing over time. Don't let it put you down or bring you down. Let it build you up and let it motivate you, and notice those changes over time. So I am noticing huge changes from where I started with this program, and I'm super excited to continue going and continue to notice changing. Less flab here, less flab here, and less jiggling here. I'm super proud of my mommy body and what it was able to do and bring life into the world with our beautiful baby Theodore. However, we all want to be the best versions of us, and we want to feel confident and feel good about ourselves. And I know that I am working hard every single day. And the most important thing is this workout is more mental than it is physical. I feel like I could take on the world after these workouts. I feel like I'm fighting against the old me that came up with excuses and reasons why I couldn't do things, and all these different things coming up in my head trying to put me down and weigh me down. I'm fighting against those things every single day. And I notice that in the way that I feel after my workouts. I have an endorphin high, and I just feel good about myself. And I also want to say that I'm filming it this way so that you guys can see exactly what I see in the mirror. I could easily take a picture and show my most slimming side. See how much more slimming this is than this? And I could just post this, but it's important to know that we are all real. People out there might not be putting their most flattering images on social media, and it's important to keep that in mind. And it's important for you not to compare yourself to other people's journeys. Even if you look at me and it inspires you, don't compare yourself to my journey. There's going to be days where I feel better than other days, and I look slimmer than other days. And I might post a picture like this, and if I post that, don't get discouraged. However, know that when I sit down, I'm not going to be posting pictures like that, because who wants to post a picture like this? I have my mommy belly. It's still there. I'm proud of it. However, I am committed to being the best version of me. So get out there, fight hard for what you want. I hope that you have the courage to do that for yourself. You deserve it. So take on the world today.
So I fought really hard through quarter force and really got amazing results with it, and my strength started coming back, and I just started feeling more and more like myself every single day. And after quarter force, I wanted to go back to the program that I started whenever I got pregnant with Theo, and I couldn't finish it because of the sickness. So I started that program again, and what do you know, I got about 3 or 4 days into it and I hurt my back. So after that, I ended up going and doing the Ultimate Reset, which was a detox, and really just focusing on myself and doing some yoga and just slowing my body down a little bit so that it could speed back up later. And I was so thankful for my Beachbody On Demand to where I could choose all of my favorite yoga workouts to do during that time of my injury and just getting back to health. And here's just a little flashback to the beginning of this video when I was in the best shape of my life doing this same yoga routine. Kind of crazy to look back and see, but I'm making progress. I'm gonna get back there. And the days that I just wanted to hip-hop dance, I hip-hop danced. It's still one of my favorite workouts to throw in there on the days that I just really feel like I need to dance. And after completing my detox at 7 months postpartum, I was officially down over 65 pounds and almost 40 inches. And as soon as I felt like me again, I was ready to chop off my hair and say goodbye to the old me and into the new me.
Turn up the mix, come on.
And just another flashback in this same video. This is that same shirt I'm wearing now, so you can really tell a difference in the way things have changed. look in the mirror now, I can finally say that I feel like myself again. I'm finally feeling confident, and it has nothing to do with the way I look, guys. It has to do with the way I feel and the confidence I have in myself when I look in the mirror, and just seeing the hard work that I'm putting in, seeing that pay off, and being proud of myself for sticking to something that was so tough. And as you know, I'm always challenging myself, so I went back and I've decided that I'm going to do a 60-day program that came out while I was pregnant that I was super bummed that I was not able to do, and that's what I will be completing for the next 60 days. I'm already on day 3 and feeling amazing, and I can't wait to see my results. I just wanted you guys to see a glimpse into my journey, just to know that we all have struggles. You just have to keep going, and as long as you don't give up, I promise you will finally feel the confidence that you've been looking for. This is a continual journey for me because this is my lifestyle. This has become something that, like I said before, is my therapy. This is what makes me happy and makes me feel my best, so I can give my best to my husband and to my child and to our future children and those who I coach. So thank you for following me, and thank you for always supporting me. It means the absolute world.